Hi everyone, this is Lovely Ruth coming to you today for the first time. Well, actually it's not the first time. I've been on a video a while back, a couple of videos, and I erased them. I did not have enough confidence in those videos because I rambled on about a subject I shouldn't have been rambling on. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. Who am I? I'm just your average, run of the mill person who has goals and dreams of having my own business. We all do. We all do. And to start, where do we start? So I think I was going off of the wrong mindset when I first started. I wanted to do a YouTube channel, but it was apparently not for me to do. But hold a second. It is kind of hard to determine what you want to do because you got to put your product out there. You got to put your brand out there. You got to put your name on something. And you don't want to look back 2 years from now, 3 years from now, thinking like, I was silly for saying that. And I was rambling on and on and on about, my job and how terrible it had become and the people in there. And it was a mess. So I erased all those videos and I'm starting over. Let me introduce myself. My name is Ruthie and I am a YouTuber now. Apparently that's where everybody's going to put themselves out there. I'm not very I'm not talking negative about myself, but I'm not very aware of how to's or how to create a video or how to the analytics of it and cameras to use and the lightning to use. I'm not familiar with all that. All I know is I have to use what's in my hand. I got to use my knowledge of what I know and go from there. I think that maybe perhaps I just need to give myself some time. I need to do this daily. I need to get into being comfortable with the camera and stop looking out off and stop stuttering because I don't stutter. I mean, it's just me and the camera right now. So I'm coming to you, you know, from my bedroom, but I have set this laptop up from room to room to room to room, trying to get an ideal, comfortable, you know, position to where I can feel free and I can talk to you guys in a, free spirited manner. Let me tell you about myself. Let me tell you who I am. Of course, I am 57 years old. I have been working all my life. I think since I was straight out of college. I didn't finish college. I went 3 years to University of Houston, and I was planning on going back, but I decided to start my family at that time. Life happens. And so after having my children, I decided to work. So I started working in retail, which I love. I love to shop. I love clothes and everything. So I started, to make a long story short, I started in retail. That's all I knew. I loved it. I did the thing. I was, became a clerk, a cashier to a manager, and after that, that company closed. And then after that, I, you know, went into a little bit of retail in other areas, like, well, not other areas, but different department store. I think I worked for Macy's, but it wasn't Macy's at the time. It was called Foley's. I don't know if anybody remember that. But I went there for a couple of years, back and forth, until I found my job of 24 years, which was actually wholesale. So it's still in the business, but a different business, groceries, wholesale. And I worked there for 24 years. Like I said, I started my clerical journey when I was in college. So I did the work study program in an office environment. So I had that within me, and then retail. And I am good at, I'm better at retail than I am anything. So my clerical journey ended up, I ended up standing there for 24 years. And believe it or not, I woke up. It's like I actually um sought the Lord on my accomplishments. And when I look back, and if I count the money up, and I count the positions, and then I count the growth, there was none. There was no money to make made. There was no growth for somebody that was already stereotyped. I hate to say this. I hate to use the black card, and I hate to do that. I'm not a racist at all. But I knew my growth in that company was, and it was of my own fault. I could say almost 50% of it I allowed. So instead of moving on when everybody else that I started with moved on, I stuck in there. I hung in there, and I did what I needed to do. And I thought I was being, you know, displaying myself to where, hey, she's loyal. She's always showing up. She's in the snow. She's in the storm. She's there. She's showing up. She's doing the thing. And there was never, you know, let's get her in a new position, or let's get her because she's her knowledge. It was like, if you didn't say anything, if you didn't demand it, it wasn't going to happen. So that's half on me. That's half of my fault. So I said I wasn't going to talk about my job. I said I wasn't going to ramble on about that. But I do need to tell you this. I do wish to tell you this, is that I quit my job, and how I went about quitting my job. That's a whole another video in itself. But to not sound like the angry black woman, or the angry disgruntled woman, I'm just going to say this. My journey was where it was supposed to be. When we put ourselves in a position to where we depend on a paycheck, or we depend on our routine, like, I got to pay these bills, I got to pay these bills. We all have to pay bills, but we get caught up in that alone. Like, we have to pay our bills. It's a paycheck. When you're living from paycheck to paycheck, you don't have room to stray or stop, or, hey, but I should have been looking for another job. I should have been, thinking highly of myself, because I am worth more than what I was getting. So I look at it like, when I say I woke up, I literally woke up to the fact that I needed to do something that would benefit me. I worked all my life to provide a way for my family, my two kids. It was just us, and my mom and my dad, and my family supported me the whole time. Never had to pay for a babysitter, never had to worry about meals, clothing, and anything else for my children. We were good. We were good. God was always there for me. But God, I kept praying. I thought about it. I kept praying to God, God, I want this, and I want this. I want to be able to, own this one day, or have my own business. And I kept praying and praying and praying for things, but I cling on to things. I tend to pray and ask God for things that I'm not willing to open my hands up to receive them. So all this time I'm praying and crying to God, God, it's got to be something better. It's got to be something better. I'm doing this the wrong way. What am I doing wrong? I'm meeting the wrong people. People are not trying to help a sister. It's like, I guess I was dependent on other people to help me, or other people to tell me which way to go, or give me a direction. Or it was like I was dependent upon anybody and anything other than myself, and seeking God first. And I always had God in my life. I've always, called out to God, and God has made a way for me when there was no way. And I know only He could have done that. It was times where He helped me out of situations that you wouldn't even believe. So I know there's a God, and I know my God listens to my prayers. But when I pray to God, and He has a very big sense of humor, I pray to God for a change, and He laughs at me because I don't want to do the work to get to that change or to make things happen for me. So spiritual warfare came upon me. It was all types and right now I'm still going through it. There's all kinds of things going through my mind, and it was all kinds of things that felt unusual. It was like something was pulling me or making me take note or pay attention, or pay attention, see this, receive this. And the more I was trying to ignore it, the more I was just getting it. I was working hard, and everything in me was telling me to quit that job. And it was like I was like, I'm gonna question this. I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna seek this and I'm gonna go to the doctors and what's wrong with me? And my body started hurting. And then after that, the people was irritating the crap out of me. And I said I wasn't gonna talk about my job, but it was like it got to the point where when I went there, I was getting ill. I was sick. I was feeling it in my bones, in my blood. It was like every doctor I saw for anything, oh, you're okay. I can't find anything wrong with you. It's nothing should be hurting you or this and this and this. But I know I had some knee problems and some arthritis here and that and, family stuff going on. But my the mental part, I never really had an issue with keeping up with anything or understanding anything or getting it. It was at a point where I was teaching people how to do things or teaching them a system and then it got to the point where I when we were out for COVID and I got used to working from home in the midst of my home, and I was used to being. It was like sort of you are your own boss. It's like you just doing your work. It's nobody over you nagging you or whatever, and it was a trust system. And then it became to where I wasn't in my rightful position when I got in my rightful position as a administrative assistant. And that sounds so crazy to me because after 24 years, I should have been somebody's supervisor, somebody's manager, or something other than that. But, it's neither here or there right now because I quit. I literally was pushed, or I wouldn't say pushed, I was actually drawn to retiring because I felt in my every being that I wasn't supposed to be at that job. It was my time. My time was up. When they say glass ceilings, it was a big glass ceiling for me there. And so I fought against it. I said no, nobody in their right minds is going to quit their job. And it's like it was something nagging at me. It was like I wasn't happy. It kept telling, my head kept saying something, in my head, in my heart, in my spirit kept saying, this is not the place for you anymore. You've grown out of this place. You've been grown out of this place. It was just a mean to a means. I have something better for you. And I kept hearing that and I say, well, I never really, thought about like what would I do after the fact, or if I lost my job. I never was in fear of losing my job. There was no way that God would permit me to lose my job. So I was going to always have that job. But at what expense? At the expense of my health, at the expense of my mentality, at the expense. My kids are grown and they've been out of the house for years. And it was that was keeping me there to provide shelter for my kids. And so when they turned of the age where they could take care of themselves, it was time for me to open up my own business, or try new avenues where, I get paid more, or anything but the suffering that I felt in my body at that time. And this, when I say that time, I'm meaning 3 or 4 months ago. I quit my job, and it's not funny to the extent that I'm laughing. I'm not laughing at it. I'm just overjoyed about the fact that I did that, and I still I'm still in unbelief. I'm still like shocked at the fact that I actually took time out to sit down and examine these things that was going through my body, these things that was on my mind at the time, and all these happening in spiritual warfare was like, you have that one person on that job, on your job, that you can't stand, and you just don't know the reason why. Well, it was several like that. So it's like, I don't know where that came from, because I'm a people person. I get along with everybody. I love to communicate. I love to spread the word. I like people coming to me and I can help them with something, or I mean, not work, but just, not just work, but, you know, life things, life happenings, spiritual things. I can speak to them and I can relate to them, and I can leave them with something when they walk away. That's the kind of person I am. And so I had minimum friends, but I had the ability to relate to people as far as on a spiritual level. So that in turn made me want to stick around, so to speak. So when it got to the point where there was things happening, it was a whirlwind of things that was happening. And I remember telling someone, I think God wants me to quit this job. And that person said, you sure it was God? I mean, two people said that. It was kind of crazy. First of all, don't ever ask another person what you should do. If God is speaking to you, he's speaking to you, not anybody else. So you don't carry that on and ask other people about it, or concern other people with it, but it's between you and God. And I'm learning a lot about, what's between me and God is between me and God, unless he wants me to speak it out. So I think that I had to say that because I didn't want to just jump up and quit, and people were like, oh, what's going on with her? And it's Ruthie leaving 24 years, walking out the door. I think that I should have probably kept my mouth closed, which it didn't matter, because God had my back anyway. So uh but for somebody to insinuate that, is it God that while I was hearing, well, I don't worship nobody else. It couldn't have been nobody else. I know my voice. I know what I would tell myself to do. I did it for 24 years. I stayed there like a scared duck or something, scared, afraid to know what's coming next, or I have to do this, and I need money for this. And it's like, I would have told myself, you crazy, you better sit there, and you better have those headaches, and you better have that feeling in your body, and body of sickness, and sitting around these people yapping, and and please, this is this a disclaimer. Don't let anybody, don't let anybody direct your path through your emotions, because if you're basing yourself on emotions and how people feel about you, then you will never work, because you would never be able to stand that. So I've put up with so many different management and so many different people that try to literally destroy me and destroy my career there. So I've seen them leave. I've seen them walk out the door with their boxes. I've seen them turn around like they had no choice but to um accept me, because when God is with you, who could be against you? Who? So I had no fear of losing my job. I had no fear of anything, and I certainly don't talk to the devil. So I don't think that was at all, not once did I an inkling that I thought the devil was trying to move me from my position to destroy me. because when you look at it, I don't deal with the devil. I know he exists, but I don't give him the props that he's looking for us to give. And I think that if you mm, start doubting God or doubting yourself, I wouldn't doubt God. It's just I was self sabotaging. I was doubting myself. So I felt the new need to, let me let somebody know that, I'm getting ready to quit because this, and this, and this is how I'm feeling. And this is what I'm being led to do. And so it in turn I got, are you sure? And then that made my doubts like, I'm not for sure. But you know what made me do it? You know what made my final deciding factor on whether I should stay or whether I should go? It's the more I decided to stay, the more I put it off, the more I hesitated, the more I said, maybe not, maybe that is me. The more I did that, the rougher it got for me, the harder it got for me. It got to the point where I sit here Friday, everybody be like, "Ooh, it's Friday, it's whatever." From Friday when I got off the clock, which was late because it was like all this stuff going on, right? The minute I got off, I gave myself couple of hours getting ready for the night, getting ready for bed, preparing dinner, getting ready. By the time I went to bed, that job was back on my mind. The whole weekend was shot to hell because I was worried about my job or what's gonna happen Monday or what I have to do Monday, what I have to put up with Monday just walking through the doors of this job. And it's like once you lose the respect of the job and you gave it all you could and you doing what you need to do, and then it was like at that point it was spiritual warfare to me. It was like I couldn't sleep, I couldn't eat, I couldn't think. I ignored my family. I was lashing out at people. It was like horrible. I had headaches from the back of my head. Like it's like a squishiness in the back of my head. I don't know what that is. I've asked doctors. I don't know. I don't know. But I'm asking. I had asked God to relieve me of this. It was anxieties. It was craziness. That's all I can say about that. It was craziness. And then I decided to um take God's word for it. Like God, I've been crying. I sit home during COVID and I would hear things about I had to teach Ruthie this. I have to teach and I have to show Ruthie how to do this. Like I'm brand new. And so after being there 24 years, it's like you don't have to teach me anything. You just show me what is new or what's going on instead of stepping on the back of my neck trying to climb up to where you can't even get. So it's like maybe that's why, wow, maybe that's why I felt the tension in my neck, and maybe that's why I felt like all the pressure on the back of my head, or my shoulders start hurting, and my arms. It's like I was trying to pull an 18 wheeler, or push an 18 wheeler. It's like that's the kind of pressure I was feeling, and it was abnormal because I've worked there 24 years, and I've been through some battles. I've been through some people, and I've never felt like this before. I never felt like at my wits end or emotionally, not emotionally, but mentally um in prison more so than I did in this last couple of months. I would say it started I'm gonna say around last year, August, maybe September when we got back to work. I mean, maybe I've become a person where I don't like to, I don't like the group thing, and I don't like to. I'm a team work. I'm a team person. I'm a team player. Yes, but the personalities, the new department and the new people, not the new people per se, the people that became that department, that was not a it was a mixture, but it was a clashing, if I could say that. Like everybody personalities don't fit with you, or everybody is not like you or about you, or nope, everybody is not going to know this. Everybody's not going to like you or who you represent or who you are or the talent that you have or the people that like you and show respect and like you may not, people may that you work with may not like that, nor might not be on board on everybody liking you or everybody respecting you and your work and what you stand for. And so it's always one, like I come back and said earlier, it's always one person that's going to um be against you. So that's everywhere. I mean, pretty much that's everywhere. But I'm the type of person that I get along with everybody. I bite my tongue, what the older people used to say, turn the other cheek. I stand, I tolerate a lot of things that I shouldn't, being a Christian or however you want to call it, these days. I don't know what the younger folks are calling it, but I'm not stuck in a religion, but I do consider myself a Christian. And so we tend to take a lot of stuff like the jokes and the antics and the what you call those bullying and those little nasty comments, and you try to be a bigger person, and it goes over your head and you're like, I'm excused. But when it got to the point where you're getting publicly embarrassed or bullied, or and the company is not doing anything about this person or people running their mouth saying anything to anybody. We living in a world now, especially coming out of a pandemic. We living in a sensitive world now. You don't know what's going on in people's minds. You don't know what they have to deal with from day to day at home. You don't know. But for you to come to work and bully people or say nasty things about people, and I've never been one of those type of people that go in on somebody else's conversation talking about somebody else. I do not do that. I do not entertain anybody bullying or anybody talking bad about a person that don't even say anything to anybody, or a person that don't even bother people, or we're just there to do our work. That's how I looked at it. If you're signing my paycheck, that's who I'm giving attention to. I come there to work, so I work. I don't go to lunch with people. I don't be in the cafeteria. Oh yeah, girl, yeah. You heard about that. I don't engage in that, because guess what? You're going to be the one that has said what they say, or they put the rumor out. Your name is going to be tagged to that. Nobody else's. So I don't engage. I never have, and I think that's why I was able to work so long at what I was doing. Um, I learned to pretty much, deal with the people that I get, that's attracted to me, that literally have my best interests at hand. And I am also one of the types that don't, this is going to be so weird to say. I don't, that I'm not going to even say that, but the saying about, your chickens hang with chickens and eagles soar. So you want to be in that mindset of hanging with people that's going to get you further, or that has knowledge to teach you to make you a better person. And it was a handful of people like that there, and I seeked them out. I was on it. It was like, no, I didn't hang with petty people. I was really there to work, honestly, to God. I was really there to actually work and develop my skills and talents. That's it. But I was pent. It was like I was pent down, and I wasn't able to express myself, and I wasn't able to show my talent, and I wasn't able to do once I got out that job. It wasn't anything that I could do to develop myself and to develop my own business, because there was no time. There was no time to do anything. And the more I worked and the paycheck that I was getting, and God knows I was very appreciative. I'm very appreciative. The paycheck that I was getting was not enough for me to do anything. It's like I was borrowing, excuse me, more money than I was making. It was like, this is not enough money. I got to go borrow from Paul to pay Peter. It was like every time I looked around, ends wasn't meeting. It was like I had to postpone things from months to months. And it was like, okay, I can sit back and start budgeting, but I realized that I wasn't getting paid. I was still at my same pay that I was a couple of years back. It was like I got a 10-cent raise this past September, and it was like crazy because that showed me that what the company thought of me. I mean, maybe not the company, maybe the manager or whatever, because me and the manager we didn't see eye to eye. In fact, she was, I don't want to say, but no, we didn't see eye to eye, and friends and all this other mess. But anyway, I said that to say this. I was spinning my wheels and it wasn't going anywhere. When I quit that job, it was the most important day of my life, I would say. It was an opportunity to grow. And it's scary, and I don't recommend this for anybody unless you know God is telling you to quit your job, then do that. It was it was the beginning of a new means for me. It was like everything's scary. Any change you make in your life that's that big, I no longer have insurance, medical insurance. I still have to take, you know, medicine for my blood pressure. I still have medication that I need to get for myself. So it's like no more insurance. So I can't go to the doctors that I'm used to, but luckily I had the best doctors, so they're still willing to see me. It's like, think about this. Like, there's no insurance, there's nothing in the net to fall back on. Promptly I realized, I didn't even realize that I was saving up a little money. I was putting away a little money for retirement, but I'm 57 years old, so you really can't retire, and you don't want to work. You can't retire and live off that money and it lasts, but you don't want to work. I'm one of those people that right now I've been out for 3 or 4 months now, and it's like, God, I don't want to work. I always used to pray to Him, and I always tell God, I don't want to work. I don't want to work. I don't want to work anymore. I want to work for myself. I don't want to go and make somebody else money and don't enjoy my life. It's like I'm clocking in day and night. I mean, every day. And I did not know that I wasn't getting anywhere fast. Anywhere. Excuse me. All right. Old folks in technology. That's my daughter. I pushed the message that I pushed. I'm on the way. I'm not on the way. I missed the bus. I'm sorry. But anyway, I don't think that I forgot where I was. Goodness. Um I don't mean to tell people to quit their job, but I feel so much better than I have ever felt in my entire life. I think the happiest day of my life was when I gave birth to my children. And I was there holding my children in my arms, and that was the most um happiest feeling. And comparing this to that, it's right up there. And I know it's like, my money is going, it's depleting, but it's like I'm not looking at the money per se. I don't know what I'm gonna do next. I'm asking God to show me the steps, not show me the whole, you don't have to show me the whole vision, just show me the steps on how to get to where I need to be, step by step. I don't need to know the the whole vision. And I know he said in his word that he would supply all my needs, and he is doing that. He is doing that. And I don't have any money generating in right now, but I still have to use money to pay bills, and he's supplying that. And don't ask me how, because I remember when I was with my kids, and their dad did not want anything to do with us. Or now I'm gonna take that back. He didn't want anything to do with me per se, but we had two kids together. I don't want to say that either. I did not plan my life. In other words, my life didn't go as I planned. That's so funny that I should say that, because our plans are different from God's plans. What we plan don't always pan out, but what God has for us always comes to surface. So in my head, getting married, having two kids, getting a house, we all want the white picket fence, not the white picket fence, but we want the house, we want the car, we want the family, the puppy. We want that. Everybody have that in their heads, you know. Our those are our intentions. But what's God intended for us? You know, it might not be, you know, with this person, you know, that person might be in my plans to have kids, and my kids are supposed to birth kings and queens, and so on and so on. But God had a different plan for me, and I got stuck into thinking that I can do this thing on my own. I never could do things on my own, not by my own means. It was always, you know, God's plan for my life. And that goes to say all the men we meet, or women we meet, and people we meet in our lives are there for a season, and sometimes we don't pick them. We want what we want, but is it what God wants? So I've been through boyfriends, and I've been through relationships, and I've been through all kinds of adventures. But now I found that God does have a good, a crazy sense of humor, because what I say, or what I'm thinking, or what I think I should be doing is not necessarily what he wants me to do per se. And he'll stop me, and he'll say, no, no, baby girl, let's start over, you know. And so that's what I've been experiencing lately. I've been experiencing um things like, you know, hold up, I didn't tell you to go over there, or hold up, excuse me, hold up, I didn't tell you to, you know, go talk to that person, or whatever. I didn't tell you to take that job, or, you know, I'm if you're following me, if you're listening to me, then rest. And so that's what I started to do, is rest. And it was like not a lazy rest, or I'm in bed all day, or I'm sleeping around, or I'm walking around lazy, watch TV. I do that though sometimes, but it's not like that kind of rest. It's like rest and know that he's working it out for me, or that he's got this plan for me, or he's got this next thing for me to do, and he's got these people coming in, and I got to go this direction, I got to do this or whatever. But I'm getting this real big sense of start your business. And if anybody know me, I'm one of those type of people that's very, I doubt myself a lot. I don't want to, but sometimes I get in my head, and I'll say something like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it tomorrow. But what do I want to do? I have like 10 or 15 things written down that I say I could start a business out of this. I could start a business doing t-shirts. I could start a business doing mugs, and all these, you know, things, right? And then the next step is to just do it. Just get online and find out how to do it. And I've been doing that. And it's like, it's something that m- makes me hesitant. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is yet. Maybe I'm looking at in this direction, and God want me to look in this direction. I don't know. So I'm still praying. And you talk about spiritual warfare. Everything that can happen, anything under the sun that can happen, I'm getting ready to move, because I can't stay here. You know, my lease is up, and I do not want to sign another lease. And these apartments are so horrific. So it's like the management is horrific. The apartment is, it's good. I mean, I prayed for it, and I was supposed to be here for a season. And we get comfortable with things. So when God say let go, He's gonna make it uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? So God don't put bad things on us. He just teaches us lessons. So um, plumbing, horrible. Not per se the toilet, but water coming from upstairs all the time for a year and a half, and I've been complaining about that. Then a pipe broke the other day, and they out there fixing that, and the water was off, and they don't tell you anything. The doors getting jammed because the foundation is messed up. It's just a lot of things I've been experiencing. I think you saw one fly by. It was a fly. It's cracks in the window, not cracks in the ceilings of the windows, and the door is unleveled, so bugs get in, and hey, let me call you right back. Bye. Um, so bugs, well, not roaches, because I will not stay nowhere with a roach. If a roach is here, I'm not here. I don't even like to think about them because I manifest them. I manifest things I put in my mind. So I don't even think about things like bugs and roaches and other critters, and I don't. So flies, I hate flies. And it's a lot of dogs around here, and people let their pups poop everywhere, and possums everywhere. And when you walk out the door, you probably run into a possum, or people park grocery baskets under the stairs and in front of your apartment. It's like, yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. And I was thinking that, we tend to create our own reality due to the fact of our environment sometimes too, because our mentality is saying, I can afford this, but I can't afford this is where I want this place here. I want to live, but it's going to cost me this much money, as opposed to paying less. But when you pay less, always remember, when you get what you pay for. And if your mindset is like, I'm gonna be affordable, I'm going to be, do this is what you get from that. And God, if you're praying for anything, prepare for it, because it's gonna come. And I just learned that. I just realized, I knew it, but I just realized, it just came to for come to front for me, to realize, how am I asking God for these things and I'm not even preparing for it. You know what I'm saying? So I picked out another apartment. I'm looking for an apartment. If push comes to shove, I will insist that my kids put me up for a little while, because it's gotten to the point where I don't want to do a 9 to 5. I don't want to do a take orders from somebody. I mean, you know, have to be told, you need to be this, and every 5 minutes you're in a meeting. And I don't want the corporate life anymore. If I want to be in the corporate life, I want to be the corporate. And I think that if we set our minds to the things that we want, or things that we expect from God, because God promises a lot of things. If we set our minds to receiving those things, like, I know I can have these things, they'll come to you. But if you are cluttered, me, I am the worst at collecting things. I was packing up the other day, and I actually have I was on this red phase. I want black, white, red objects in my house, face of us, and pictures and little bitty knickknacks, colorful knickknacks. I can't believe how many things I've collected over the years that I didn't even need. I remember going in the store, buying uh things that, like, oh, this will go good in my apartment, or this will go good in my house, or whatever. And now that I'm packing, it's like, who can I give this stuff to? I don't want this stuff. Why did I collect this stuff? Why did I spend my money on this stuff? What was I thinking? I should have been putting money away, instead of more money away, than instead of buying these things. And I was hooked on this addiction of buying things and clothes and stuff, and I still like to shop, but I don't have the desire. I don't have the room. I don't need anything. I got everything. God has supplied everything. I have abundance already, and we don't realize we have abundance of things already, and we're asking for more, but we don't want to rotate what we have out and let the new stuff come in. So that's what I'm dealing with now. I think I'm getting a lot of eye-opening um things coming to life, coming to surface for me now that I have time to think, have more time to spend with my family. I have more time to meditate. I have more time to have a relationship with God, and I love that. I love that. I love this extra time. I love to think. I love to get up in the morning and say, I don't have nothing planned, but I can go do this, or I can go do that, or I can go visit my sister, and I can go if I want to take the day and watch Gunsmoke all day or watch TV or take it easy or sleep. I don't sleep in the daytime. I'm not one of those type of people, but I can't take a nap in the midday. So I got to find something constructive to do. So I got this time to do it. I've been really focusing. I've been trying to journal. I've been trying to write. I've been trying to write my book. I just know in my heart of hearts, in my spirit, my soul is telling me that it's something I need to be doing. It's something that God wants me to do. I don't know what that is right now. Still today, He's working it out for me. He's talking to me. He's speaking to me. He's showing me my direction, and I'm good. I'm really good. I'm not worried. It's like it's something happened to me that changed me. I want to say changed me because I'm not as anxious as I used to be. I don't um sit up and think all the time about what's to come at work, or who's going to be mean, or who's going to be don't have a life and trying to get in my life or in my business, and all these other things that I used to deal with. I don't have to deal with anymore. I feel 20 years younger. I don't feel like I can go back to that. Is that crazy? It's like I can't go back to that. I wouldn't want to go back to that. I think it crossed my mind one time, say if push came to shove, would I go back there? And that I entertained that for a brief second. I mean, God, if no, no, He didn't bring me this far to uh say that I was a mistake. So no, it wasn't a mistake. I clearly feel 100% better. I want to say that there's good things to come. There's good things ahead of me. And don't even, I don't have a worry about what God's going to do next. And I don't have to worry about, these spiritual warfares that I'm experiencing, I supposed to be experiencing. So, I'm good. I'm really good. My next video or my next step is going to be me telling you about how to do something. It's gonna be something teachable. I promise you, I will. So I had noted that I needed to tell you who I am. Check. Had to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm single. Just in case if my husband is out there somewhere, I'm single. And I do want to get married. I do want to get married, but I want to meet this person on a higher level that I've ever been. Like I don't want to bring in anybody into my mess or anybody into my area to where I am not my strongest, or I'm not at my highest thinking point or level, um because I don't want to attract me. I want to attract this guy, this godly guy, and this man, we all have a man of our dreams, but I want to be on that plane level where I can meet him. You know what I'm saying? So that's hard to explain. So yeah, I got plans for that. I mean, I'm asking God for that. So I'm trying to manifest that. Pray about that. And what I hope to accomplish was, we go back to when we were younger, how we prayed and we fantasized about having being beautiful and having nice clothes and nice things, and um having that perfect boyfriend, and we've fantasized that all our lives. So I still want that. I still want the perfect job. I want to have my own business. I want to um own a home. I owned a home before. It was my starter home, and I raised my kids until I couldn't raise them anymore. My mind was like, I can't do this on my own income. So I put that in my mind, and I wasn't able to do it on my own income. And push came to shove where I had to sell my house and blah blah blah. So but my kids was out of the way, and I was able to live freely. And I'm thinking, let me move into an apartment for 2.5 years, and let me not have to pay water, lights, and gas, and not pay for a yard guy. And when I meet my husband, then all of this won't be on me alone. And it was like yada yada yada. So I'm here. I'm in an apartment, and my goal is to be a homeowner again, and that's one of my goals, and I hope to accomplish, and get married. Yeah, get married. I don't want to work harder. I want to work smarter. So getting to those things, I have to first of all rely on God, and then secondly rely on my knowledge and wisdom that I'm trying to get right now and praying for, to do something that God is going to bless. So I'm looking forward to that. And I want to start uh, a YouTube channel, which this is going to be my, again, first video. Start a YouTube channel, and it's going to take a lot of hard work and a lot of nights and a lot of makeup and a lot of different hairstyles and everything else to accomplish my YouTube goal, which is to brand something. I really don't. I can't tell you how much I don't know right now, but having that faith that I can accomplish anything God put me up to, on that alone lies my hope and lies my future. So, yes. So that was me. That was, me going through my life, and finding myself quitting my job because of uh I want more. I want better things for myself. I don't want to uh wake up and wake up. I was thinking I'm gonna wake up 10 years later and I'm gonna still be doing the same thing I'm doing now. When I first quit my job, I was looking for jobs. I put my applications out there, and I they asked me, what do I want to do? Why did I quit? I mean, what am I looking for? And all these questions. And I wasn't prepared. I've been on 2, 3 interviews, but I wasn't prepared for those interviews because I literally did not quit a job to start another job doing the same thing that I was doing. How much sense does that make? I had security there. I had insurance. I was never going to lose my job there. And, what sense does it make to go from there to another one? So my mind, my body, my soul is telling me that God has something better for me, and that's my faith. That's my truth. That's what it is. And a lot of people don't want to hear that and don't want to believe that, God is real. God is real. Well, God is real because I'm living proof of that. And wherever He takes me, or whatever happens to me, it's in His plans, it's in His wills. When I let go, when they say let go, take the wheel, God take the wheel, literally, you when you step out on faith like I did, like I have, he literally has to take the wheel. That's just in his DNA. He has to, you know, that's faith. That's faith. And I am going to leave it like that. I'm going to leave um it there for now because I'm rambling on. Um if you have any questions, comments, or anything you want to ask me, I'm here. You can comment, and I need help. I mean, if anybody know how I could create things on, or what to use on my, as far as my lighting and my camera is concerned, or any tips or ideas of how I can, you know, get better at this, but I'm gonna follow my heart. But I want to take it slow and easy and just do a little bit at a time, and I'll get there. I'll get there, and I'll get this, channel up and roaring, and I will keep at it. Who knows where it might take me? I don't know. I don't know. So thank you for tuning in, and thank you for putting up with my sounds. I have my TV on. I hope you guys didn't hear that. Um, uh, Thank you for giving me your time, and I hope this wasn't a very boring um, conversation. I hope you found it useful. Um, Bottom line is, don't quit your job until God tells you to quit your job. So I'm not uh, coming here telling you to do that. But if He's telling you to quit your job, He has something better for you. And it may take weeks, months, years. Who knows? You don't know God's timing. So um, just know that He has our lives already worked out, no matter what we do. So on that note, I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. If you liked, you can thumbs up. That's how YouTubers talk. Thumbs up or subscribe to the video, to the channel, and I will create more content as I go along. I will try to be consistent. I can only try, Hey, who knows? I might wake up and be a millionaire tomorrow. Who knows? But instant gratification. Who knows? So just bear with me. It's going to be some boring videos. It's going to be some exciting videos. I'm going to try to speak from the heart. I'm not going to say anything God does not direct me to say, or that I don't feel comfortable with. So I will bring you more of me, more about me. And then I'm going to try to do some videos on other topics. So we'll see. And I hope you enjoyed your day, and I hope you enjoy your evening. And I will see you guys on the later video. Bye.